So I was on Twitter today and I came by a tweet from the Washington Post. Now I clicked on it and I don't have the subscription and I'm not going to pay for it. So I'm not going to read the article. But the headline was Republican congressman defends paying immigrant inmates $1 a day, right, in their jails, right? And initially, a lot of people on the right and stuff would be like, yeah, sure, make these immigrants, make these illegal immigrants or aliens pay their fair share and make them work for free, right? But this is actually very, very bad for the average American citizen. You know, a lot of these prisons, they're working jobs that are like fairly good manufacturing jobs that could be paying the average citizen something like $20 an hour or more. But these companies are getting to pay these guys $1 an hour. So what does that do? This is the same thing that happened back in the day when there was like slavery. That was not good for the average citizen. Bringing down wages at stagnated wages. So that is all you're really doing by supporting these people. They're all pretending, oh, we gotta make these people pay and make them work, but really they're just getting a really good deal and they're able to undercut their competitors, so that's going to destroy more good paying jobs for American citizens. And not only that, they get tons of subsidies oftentimes from the government to pay for prisoners. So the tax dollars that you're paying are subsidizing these inmates living costs, security staff, all this shit. And then they go and they work them for free and undercut your labor. So now your wages stay stagnant. So no, you should be against it. There should be pretty much like a law against inmates doing these types of jobs at all, because that is just destroying the industry and destroying jobs for people. So it's tough though, because you want to put immigrants, especially legal immigrants, away. You want to punish them, but you also don't want to put them in your own prison systems, because how much does it cost to house a prisoner? Like, I don't know, something like $100,000 a year per prisoner. So that's also something you don't want to do. I think the best thing you could do is deport them, and then if the Mexican government or whatever government does not want to punish these people, you put sanctions on their government, right? Because it's just bullshit. People, they'll send them over the border. There's like that guy who killed that Kate Stein girl. He went over the border 5 fucking times. It keeps coming back, right? So they do need to be punished. They do need to be put in jail. But putting them in your own jails, in your own private jails, is just going to destroy jobs. It's going to cost you a lot of money. So the best thing you could do is send them back and put sanctions on that country, like I said before, because that's the only way they're going to listen. And this is the only way you can get those governments to actually, lay the law down on their own fucking citizens. Otherwise, you're going to have these people, like I said, a Kate Stein guy coming in and killing citizens and then turning around and suing the state, right? I forget the reason, but some bullshit fucking reason he's now suing over it. So, you guys, you really got to start using your head and stop letting people manipulate you. Because even though there's some people on your side, like the Republicans, say, oh yeah, we'll put all these people in prison and this and that and put them away for 20 years. Like, no, they want to do this for their business buddies. So then they get more money from them, and then their business buddies get to undercut the market and shit. So, don't fall for that shit either, And like, just the whole prison industry thing, not even the private one, is just a sham. There was another article today too. This guy in Alabama is a sheriff. He skimmed legally something like $750,000 from this food fund for the inmates. So, and this was legally done, right? There was some law. Etowah County Sheriff Todd Entricken told the Birmingham News he follows a state law passed before World War II that allows sheriffs to keep excess inmate feeding funds for themselves. So within a few years, or within 3 years, he was able to accumulate $250,000. All this shit, he was able to buy like a $750,000 home, right? So these people are just taking advantage of us, like there's no fucking tomorrow. And they're doing it legally. Oftentimes, they're legally having slave labor. They're legally taking money, and not only that, like my brother was in prison, and there was a thing I saw a while ago on Twitter where there's another guy and they were talking about raising the prices for the cafeterias on inmates. And this guy, he was like, yeah, good. We should do this. Fuck these prisoners, right? Some guy in the right wing. But I was like, hey, man, you know what? You know who actually gets fucked when they do that is the family. Because, they'll charge like $5 for a little tiny bar of soap. And you know who's paying for that? It's their family. So their family are the ones giving these inmates $100, $200 a day. And typically people in prison, like their family, their connected families are not very rich. They don't have a lot of money. So you're just hurting poor people by raising the rates on these canteens. And these prison industries, the prison, whether they're private or not, are making a killing off of us. This is why, people go to jail for fucking the simplest of crimes. People still go to jail for, possession of weed and all of this shit. Like, there was just another article I was reading. Some guy, he was facing, 20 years ago, like 240 years in prison because of, the possession of weed and shit, man. It's like, this is complete insanity. We have all these strict laws for this, and that. But for the laws that really matter, like pedophilia and shit like that, people get like a slap on the wrist. They get like 3 years, a couple years. It's like we don't have our priorities straight, and we're being taken advantage of. And do not listen to these private prison industries and the government prison industries. They're all just trying to fuck you. I think there could be a place for more of a privatized prison system if there was an actual free market and we did not have an oppressive government making laws for these private prisons, because that is a lot of the case. These prisoner or these companies, etc., they'll go and lobby the government. They'll be like, hey, make this illegal. Oh, keep this illegal, because this just keeps them having a job. This is why I don't like cops and pretty much anybody that works for the government. Like, honestly, you're a succubus, and you are promoting a system that is built on violence, that is built on theft, and you are a part of it. You are, the prisoners, the prison guards, the fucking, the prisoners. They're all a part of this system, and they're just the henchmen that enforce the oppressive laws from the state. And this is insanity. The prison lobbyists are some of the worst fucking people either. Like, just a couple days ago in the Canadian prison industries, there was these 2 girls that were sexually assaulted for I don't know how many years, like chained up to their chairs, like just fucked up shit. And every time they went to go ask for help, the people in the at the top of the union and all this shit, they're like, shut up, don't worry about it. And these people are fucking inmates. This is why I don't really want women inmates or prison women in these prisons anyways with men and all this stuff, because you have that going on with the guards, or you have them like sneaking in shit, giving it to prisoners, fucking the prisoners, or you have the men fucking the women prisoners, or it's just really fucked. We're not rehabilitating anybody, we're not helping anybody, and the majority of the people that are going in prison are going in for non-violent crimes, and that is the worst part about it. Like 90% of people or something in prison are there for non-violent crimes. Like, imagine how much better society would be if we did not have a lot of these laws that are putting people away for absolutely nothing. Prison destroys people's lives. It destroys families' lives. Like, everybody connected to that person. You know, some people, they go in and they come out and then they're never the same. And they will never be the same. And they will affect everybody that they meet down the road, typically for the negative, in a more of a negative way. So, you know, we need to stop these private prisons, like I said before, because it is doing slave labor, which is hurting everybody's jobs, everybody's wages, the average citizen. So you should be against that just for your own pragmatic reasons. You know, I want prisoners and people to be punished just like anybody else, but we got to be smart about it. You know, we can't punish them at the expense of workers and wages for innocent average people. And like I said, a lot of these people are put in prison for non-violent crimes. So we should not be making people be slaves, even if they're illegal immigrants and shit. You know, I'm not for enslaving anybody. It doesn't matter what race, color, religion, ethnicity you are. You know, you gotta be consistent with your principles and apply them to everybody evenly. You do not make exceptions, you know. So, but, you know, that's all I pretty much had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.